There's a problem with this tape. It exists. That shouldn't be particularly interesting. I mean, there are millions of hours of recorded interviews sitting in government archives. Police interviews, military interviews. Statements from people who saw things they shouldn't have seen. Most of them are incredibly boring. This one's 94 minutes long. It concerns a doctor named Malcolm HARROW. And according to the records, Malcolm HARROW never existed. I need to explain how I got it. A man who spent 30 years working in records for the Ministry of Defense retired in 2019. When he left, some material left with him. Most of it was worthless. Procurement disputes, expense claims, internal correspondence about missing equipment, the usual bureaucratic archaeology. And then there was a cassette. It was labelled in biro. The handwriting didn't match anything else in the box. Interview 1. There was never an interview 2. The man who kept the box is dead now. I have the box. I started looking for HARROW because I assumed the obvious. The tape was fake. A fabricated interview, an old training exercise, maybe even an elaborate joke. But the more I looked, the harder the explanation became. In February 1990, a regional health authority in the Western Highlands of Papua New Guinea reported an outbreak it couldn't identify. 17 dead in one village, no diagnosis. One health bulletin mentioned it, 2 paragraphs. The cause listed as presumed encephalopathy of unknown origins. And then the incident disappears. There's something worth knowing about that phrase. There really was a devastating neurological disease in the highlands of Papua New Guinea, Kuru, a prion disease. It was associated with funerary practices involved with the consumption of human remains. It could take years, sometimes decades before symptoms appeared, and nothing kills a prion. Not heat, not disinfectant, not antibiotics, not time. That part is recorded history. What follows isn't. At least, I haven't been able to establish that it is. According to the tape, a joint Commonwealth response was sent into the region. One of the medical officers was a 40-year-old civilian doctor named Malcolm HARROW. He stayed for 9 days. Then he came home. And on the 14th of March 1990, he was sitting in an interrogation room somewhere in Britain. Special Investigation Branch. Warrant Officer Halloran conducted the interview. A staff sergeant was observing. I've cleaned the tape where I could. The end of it is where I left it alone. No cleaning would help or matter. Listen, I'm just gonna let it play. You need to hear it for yourself to believe me. Just before I do, one last thing. The label was written and dated after the recording was made, which means someone heard this, and someone decided other people shouldn't. Interview commencing 22:40, 14th of March. Special Investigation Branch, present, myself, Warrant Officer Halloran. Also present, Staff Sergeant.
Staff Sergeant Julia Mackenzie, observing.
Julia?
Sit down, Doctor.
I've been sitting for 6 hours. Then a few more won't hit you. I want to start with deployment. You went out on the 22nd of February? 23rd. 23rd, fine. What were you told before you went? Very little, 17 dead, no diagnosis, regional authority out of its depth. There was a suggestion of violence. There was a word that kept being used, tradition. Meaning? Meaning cannibalism, Warrant Officer. Nobody would say it. Everybody was saying it. And was it? Yes. You sound quite calm about that. I've had time. I'm going to read you something. You've got my journal? We have your journal. It was in your kit when you were detained. I'll be reading sections of it into the record. Stop me if I've got any of it wrong. You won't have. 24th of February. Bite itches like hell. Probably got half the man's teeth still in there. But the medic slapped a bandage on it and told me to get back to work. You were bitten? Day 1, a man came at the team during the site assessment. He wasn't well. He took hold of my forearm with his teeth and didn't let go. 2 of the escorts had to put him down before he would. Put him down? Shoot him, yes. And you carried on working? Of course I carried on working. There were 17 dead and no diagnosis. And I had a bandage. What would you have done? Just gone home? The locals look wrong. The healthy ones twitch. Teeth grinding, like they're chewing something that isn't there. Eyes won't focus. They stare through you. One dropped mid-sentence today, just folded. That's accurate. The liaison says it's nothing. Says they've chewed too much buai. Had to look that up. Beetle nut. Psychoactive, sure. This is not beetle nut. That's accurate. What was it then? It was the beginning. On the 27th you went to the second village? In Kala? You wrote the report. I'd like you to read it out. You want me to read my own report? I want it in your voice on the tape. Second site. No survivors on approach. Observed multiple hostiles engaged in active mutilation and ingestion of human remains. Confirming initial reports. Hostiles non-verbal. Exhibiting violent motor activity and total absence of pain response. Absence of pain response? One of them had gone through a fence. Through it. Wire through his shoulder all the way through. And he was still coming forward. He hadn't even noticed. That isn't a man ignoring pain, warrant officer. That's a man who no longer has the equipment to feel it. Keep reading. Test results. Prion disease markers present in all available samples. Orders received. Contain and prevent spread. Containment achieved via total incineration of site and remains. Total incineration? Yes. How many? I don't know. Roughly? I don't know. And I'd ask you not to press me on it. Because the honest answer is, I stopped counting on purpose. And I would like to keep it that way. There's an entry from the night as well. I know what's in it. FOB stores are empty. No explanation. I'm hungry all the time now. The wound is closed, but it still feels really warm. Like a bruise that hasn't decided what to be. A monkey wandered too close to the perimeter today. I shot it. I didn't think about a fire or a knife or anything. Hot blood in my mouth. The taste was... And then you stop writing. Yes. Why does it stop? Because I couldn't find the word. And I'm a man who has always been able to find the word. And then 2 more lines underneath. I know. It didn't even fill the gap. Still hungry. Doctor, I'm going to be straight with you, because I think you'll respect it more. Please do. We have you linked to 47 disappearances. From the point you came off the aircraft, 47 people in a little over 10 days. The lodgings you were using had 3 chest freezers. A building with no restaurant, no kitchen license. I've seen photographs of the inside of them. I've been doing this job for 19 years, and I would very much like to unsee them. Then why did you look? What? You knew what was in them. You'd been told. you opened them anyway. And now you're angry with me because you can't stop thinking about it? That's not my doing, warrant officer. That's appetite. You wanted to see. Sit down. I haven't gone anywhere. No. I know, just sit down anyway. The Ministry of Culture liaison, the man who kept telling you the practice was abandoned, Mr. Oweko, he's dead. Yes. There's a last entry in the journal, 2nd of March. Read it. I'd rather not. Read it. I don't remember walking here. Cold tiles. Freezer ham. The air in the morgue is thick, metallic, almost sweet. The door opens. It's him. He says my name like he's been looking for me. And then the look of his face cuts the sentence in half. He must want something. Money, a signature. I don't care anymore. I watch his mouth moving. But all I can see is the skin and his throat, pulsing in time with something. Something breaks in my head. Red mist. Keep going. Hot blood on my tongue. The noise he makes is short and wet. I'm still chewing when I realize I'm on the floor with him. Still hungry. And the last line. I'll request shore leave. Tell them it's trauma from what I saw out there. Somewhere quiet. Somewhere with people. Somewhere with people? Yes. You wrote down that you wanted to be somewhere with people. And then you asked to be sent here. The morgue at the field hospital had security cameras. Nobody's ever bothered to look because why would you? But I looked. 2nd of March, 2318. You don't have to watch this if you don't want to.
I know.
Don't. That's the first thing you've asked me for all night, Doctor. For the benefit of the recording, Exhibit 4. Video cassette recovered from the field hospital at the forward operating base. 2nd of March. Time code reading 2327. The image is poor, so I'll describe what's on it for the record. Fixed camera mounted high, covering the mortuary. 2 steel tables in frame. A door at the back, left of shot. Nobody in the room. Now the door opens. Male entering alone. Civilian clothing. That's Oweko. He's saying something.
Dr. Harrow?
Can't tell from this. Second man entering frame from the right. That's you, Doctor, correct?
Dr. Harrow?
You're standing up. Oweko turning towards you. He's still saying something.
They told me you're gone. I've been looking for you all evening. There's a call come through from Port Moresby. They want... Doctor?
No, he's... That is you, Doctor. Yes. Anything to say? I've been trying to find a way to say this that doesn't have you reaching for the word monster. And I don't think there is one, so I'll just say it. The liaison told me the tradition was dead. He was very insistent about it. Dead. Finished. Decades gone. Only Westerners believe the old stories. But a thing isn't dead because the government stops writing about it. It's dead when nobody wants it anymore. And they still wanted it. All of them. Out there in the dark, underneath all that noise about BeetleNet and superstition, they still wanted it. You're saying you caught it? I'm saying I was offered it, and I said yes. There's a difference, and it matters to me. You're ill, Doctor. You've a bite on your arm and a prion in your head, and you're not responsible to do that. You're not responsible. Don't do that. Don't you dare take it off me. That's mine. This isn't an outbreak, warrant officer. That's what you've all got wrong. An outbreak is something that happens to people. I'm continuing a tradition, and now it's mine. Harrow, no!
Harrow? No! No!
I'm sorry. 3 people were in that room. I'll start with the 2 that weren't Harrow. There is no warrant officer Halloran, no service record, no pension file, no discharge, no death certificate. 19 years in the job, by his own account, not a line of paper anywhere. The staff sergeant is worse. She gives her name. Staff Sergeant Julia Mackenzie. Straight into the recorder. First thing, the way you're supposed to. I spent 4 months looking for Julia Mackenzie. There is no Julia Mackenzie. Harrow is where it gets strange. Because Harrow hasn't been erased. Not properly. The outbreak exists, the health bulletin exists. There are references to containment operations. There are references to missing personnel. There are references to a British medical officer being present. But the name keeps sliding away. One document lists a civilian doctor, unnamed. Another gives a name that isn't his. One record refers to a medical officer being repatriated in March 1990. Another says the response team returned without casualties. The dates don't line up, the numbers don't line up. Individually, none of it's suspicious. Put it all together and it's impossible. And that's the part I've come to understand. Nobody ever has to write, remove Malcolm Harrow. You take a name out of one report, you change a figure in another, you classify a third, you correct an administrative error, then somebody retires, somebody replaces them. 30 years go by and eventually nobody's lying. They're just repeating what the records say. And the records say nothing. I've listened to the tape 11 times. The thing I keep coming back to isn't the end of it. I've done what I can with the end of it. It's his voice before that. He doesn't sound confused. He doesn't sound ill. He doesn't sound frightened. He sounds certain. Because if he were simply ill, the disease would explain the hunger, and the trauma would explain the violence, and I could put the cassette back in the box and never think about it again. None of it explains where he went. There's no arrest, no hospital, no grave. 47 people were missing when the interview started. By the end of it, 49. And then nothing at all for 36 years. The label on the cassette says, "Do not issue." Somebody sat and listened to all 94 minutes of that, made a decision, and then put it in a box, in a storage facility in the Midlands, instead of putting it in the fire. And that's the bit I can't get past. They kept it. You don't keep a thing like that, unless you think you might need it again.